Good evening. Welcome to Single Shot. I got a little upgrade that I'm going to show you folks with the Flow powder measure. And the first thing you have to do is disassemble it. So we're going to take the powder top of it off. All right, that's tightened right up pretty good. I'm going to have to loosen that up just a little. There we go. Don't take much. Okay, now what you got to do is you've got to take this whole assembly out of the UPM, Flow powder measure. I'm going to screw this off. The other Uniflow powder measure I had didn't have threads on it. It just slipped in. Well, I should say the stand didn't. All right, I got that apart. Set that aside. Yes, I do have the instructions right there. All right, we got to take out this lock screw. And then you take the barrel of this off. This whole comes out as one whole unit. Okay, this is a small one. And what we're doing today is we're going from large to small. All right, I gotta get an Allen wrench to fit those. Oh, a little bit too big. There we go. Okay. Those two screws. That's for your handle. These two screws on here. I just loosened those up. And what I'm doing is I'm changing from a large to a small. The opposite way around, I'm sorry. This is a small one. And you judge that by the size of this head right here. This is a large one. Same thing, a little bit bigger. They may be different colors, and you'll see that in a minute with the powder measure drum, because that is a different color. Okay, we're going to set all this stuff right off to the side for now, because that is the old system. Now I take the new one. This one isn't blued. So I'm going to hook that handle back on here. You can set that 2 positions on these. Set it up here for a little bit shorter handle, or you can set it down here for a little bit longer handle on the unit. I like the longer setting. So I put that on, snug those up. And you slide this assembly right in here. Okay, mistake number 1. This is 180 degrees out. So I'm not prone to mistakes. I'm not one that doesn't make them, because I do. Yeah. Now, set that right in there like that. And we'll snug these up. Don't have to be super tight. So you get a good travel. And what I did is the threaded portion of that drum was 180 degrees out. So I had to change that drum. Now I'll take my screw It gets dropped down through the barrel, like so. That's going to stop. It should stop. Okay, now this part here, I'm going to make double sure that I've got it right. Now these come with 3 or 4 of these. I don't know if you could see them, but they're really, really thin calibration washers. I've got another one that I've got to dig out of the box. And what those do is you set those so that when your thimble is on the unit, that lines up to 0. And you have to move these, change these until it does. Let's see if we can get this thing right. I'll put all 3 of them on to start. Now, this screws onto that long stem. All right, I've got to make sure I've got things right here. Something isn't right already. Okay. Appears we've got something wrong. So, pull the screw out. Pull this drum out. I'm going to double check my threads to make sure they're right. Okay. It's probably just the way I had that. Now those calibration rings right here. If I have to take this unit off again to calibrate those, then I'll take it off. But each one of those is like, I don't know, I think it's like 5/1000 of an inch. They're really small. So back in here, drop the screw back down again through. Come on. There we go. All right. There we go. Now this fits tight. It fits. It's a snug fit. So you got to move it around a little bit. Get that thing to drop down in there. This will screw all the way down. Okay. Now that screw is all the way down inside that drum. You can't see it in there, but it's all the way down inside this drum. You got free movement. Now you put the thimble on. That should fit down through there. There's a little rubber O-ring in there. Okay. Set screw. There, I think she started then. All right, what that's doing, that is running that screw up in there. Okay. Now, on the end of that screw right there, you gotta make sure that's flush with the end of that thimble. And that's what I'm doing now. That set screw on the side of it, that's what that little wrench is for. And you tighten that little guy up. Well, that'd be super tight. All right, now, I forgot one step. I'm going to have to take that thimble back off of there because I've got to tighten this on the powder measure barrel. So take that back off. Okay. Now I got to have. Whoops. Sorry. Gotta get a wrench. I left it over here on the casting bench. And my fancy dancy fiddle. Let's see if we got a right side. Yeah, pretty close. All right, I'm just gonna snug that up. I'm not gonna tighten it. Screw is free. So wind that all the way back out. Slide that thimble back on. Just a little bit more. Just a shade. There we go. All right. Oops. How are you? Okay. That's that. Now, we didn't need this lock from the other one because that drum is not made for it. You just keep that. I keep it all together. Put it all right back together and keep it together. That way, if I ever have to fall back on it, I've got it. I had both sets of them son of a guns before the fire. I had this one for the large screw, and I had this one for the small screw. And what this thing does, you can hear that's pretty tight. You see where my scale is? Right there. These micrometer nicks are over on this side. You ought to have that scale either top side at 12 o'clock or here on the side there. So, in that case, it takes a little bit of adjusting to get these things just right. But what you accomplish by this piece of equipment is getting extremely precise measurements with the UPM, Uniflow Powder Measure. And they're repeatable. So, all right, there's my screw assembly. Wind that bugger off. Now I'm going to try it to see where that ends up with none of the spacers. We'll see how that calibrates out this time. I wanted everybody to see that so they would know why those washers were there and what they did. That's going to be right dead on the money, right between those two pieces. That housing. I still haven't got it just right. There we go. All right. All right, my screw is up there a little bit too far. Let's screw that back. The end of that screw was right up against the housing in there, so it was preventing me from turning it. Okay, there's your measurements there. That's up on 12. So I'm going to leave that right there where those are, because that's where I like to have my measurements. Is right there on that top side, like this. Oh, turn it around so you can see it. There we go. There's your graduation. It's right up on top. So you can see that when you're looking at it like this. Slide that thimble back on. Get it in position of that screw. Lock it down with the Allen wrench. Now, if I got everything right, when I screw that screw all the way in, zero should be zero on the thimble too. Long screw. All right. There is 0 on 0. Now I'm going to test it, see how it is. All right. It's 35, 40. 40 just scrapes it. 45 is free. Okay. So what we got to do is turn this assembly, turn the thimble. Because we got 0 on the barrel. That's touching, or very close to touching on that inside of this casting. Okay, that's dragging right there. So we're really, really close. Okay. Now let's go back to this set screw. It's down there, so I've got to get it an odd angle here. Turn them until they match 0. All right. Set screws down here. I think my purple T-wrench will fit that. Nope, not quite. I have to go to a small one. Okay. Now if I turn that past 0, I'm still just a little bit off. Okay. There's a slight drag right there. All right. Turn that back over. Set screw. Come on. Get this thing. Maybe I better take that out of there. There's your powder guide. All right. Now, looking for, see if there's a way to hold that screw. And turn that. Still turning the. All right. Let's see if we can get that off. I'm learning on this stuff. I've been a while since I've set one of these up. Oh, I want to take that all the way out. All right. Okay. So that is caught right there. That is just touching it. Okay, that's a drag right there. We'll do it this way. Probably would have been the way to do this in the first place. My main line is right there. Line up 0. All right. 0 right there. Now let's see what we get. an excellent piece of equipment. Now if I should turn that, I'm getting drag, getting very slight drag, and that is dead on 0. So we're calibrated. So that that unit is set. All right. Now turn this unit back down into the stand. I have to keep an eye on that. Make sure it don't smack my tumbler. Now you can set this height any adjustment that you want, but I'll usually go down till it almost bottoms out. I'll take that lock nut. Yeah. Okay, she's just dragging. Set that dead on 0. Got no drag. Don't forget your symbol. Put that back in there. Now this goes back in. Oh, that's done. Put your chamber back on. And you've got a very accurate micrometer powder measure. Now when you come up with your loads that you want to refer back to, that's very easy, because you just take this number and make a note of it on your recipe. And you got that reference number to fall back on. Let's see if I can get this. By golly, it will fit. Good. All right. I'm gonna put the foam right back in it. Might not need it though. Yeah. Doesn't seem to spring the cover too much. There's the instructions. Yeah, okay. That one's gonna fit tight. Yep. All right. It doesn't like that. I'll put that there. Pretty thick piece of foam that they use when they pack these things in the box. And it does not come with that drum, by the way. That drum that you saw me clean, that you saw me change. Whoops. Okay, that's what you're looking at right there. That is the large. I've got the small in there right now, so I want to change it back. All I have to do is change that drum. But that will do some pretty small charges. So if I've helped anybody out with that, please let me know. Like, share, and subscribe. And we'll catch you on the next one.